Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. It's a Saturday afternoon, late afternoon. The Parkles are still busy in Nigeria. The show goes on, and what a show it is. More of the trashy outfits, the almost indecent outfits, crumpled, both of them looking particularly crumpled today. And some more rather embarrassing moments, of course. It goes without saying with those two, in my opinion, that's what we can expect from them. Fawning press as well, which I suspect is bought and paid for. That's my opinion. And in watching all of this, the question that really bothers me is, why does Harry stay in the marriage? That's what's bothering me today. It's bothering people over on Reddit as well. There's quite an interesting conversation going on over there with people who know a whole lot more about psychology and these kinds of relationships than I do. And I have to make a disclaimer right now that, of course, I'm just doing a tarot reading for fun and entertainment. I am just expressing personal opinion, very amateur opinion, speculation. I'm just reading energy, and there is a disclaimer in the box below. I have the Shadowland Tarot on the tarot table for this one, because it deals with subconscious, with the things that churn away in our subconscious that we don't really realize are driving our behavior. And so we're going to have a look today, going to do a Celtic cross with the Shadowland Tarot and ask why Harry stays in this marriage, because she is really, in my opinion, embarrassing. She abandoned him, left him to go alone to the UK, where he was shunned by his family, booed by people, tiny crowds at all the Invictus stuff, waited at the airport for him, and then of course elbowed everyone out the way so she could make this Nigerian tour all about her and her 43% Nigerian ancestry. He surely, when he looks at her, must wonder why she looks so trashy when compared with the other royal women when they're out and about. Or is he that lost? Is he that deluded? Is he that brainwashed? Is he afraid? Is he worried that if he says anything, there will be hell to pay? Is he afraid of her? Afraid of the consequences? What hold does she have over him? Could it be substances? We're going to look at that in the next one, in the short little reading, little follow-up one. Some speculation about that, so we'll park that one. One of the things that's been suggested is the sunk cost fallacy, that he's gone so far in this fool's quest that it's impossible for him to backtrack, to admit defeat at this point, and to say to everyone, yeah, you were right, I was wrong. When you told me to take it slow, I should have listened, and I made a huge mess, and oops, now what? So that's where we're heading today. And as I say, this is purely amateur. This is amateur hour here, and we're just looking at it. I'm expressing my opinion about this. It's my personal bugbear, because I have done lots of readings on the state of their relationship, and I can tell there is great mutual unhappiness. She keeps redesigning the ring, for instance. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's not normal behavior. She bigs him up in public. Oh, I married him because he's so smart. But then there are moments when you speculate she might be absolutely annihilating him in private. So it's that kind of weird behavior. So I think I've rambled enough. The cards are pretty juiced up. Yeah, okay. And let's see. Losing my voice. Let's see what we can find out from the tarot today about what might be keeping the two of them together. Maybe they just are ridiculously happy, and I'm just completely misreading the situation, and I'm about to be told off by the tarot. We don't know. Let's see. And be very interesting one day to find out, like we found out with Wallace and David or Edward. Finally, we have the Two of Swords in reverse as our underlying energy of this reading. Crossroads. Which way to go? Somebody who's blindfolded, who can't really see where their future is, which is the right path to take. The card is in the reverse. Can mean that a dreaded decision. The Two of Swords for me is always a dreaded decision, because you really can't tell. You know you have to make a difficult decision, but you don't want to, and so you avoid it. So when the card is in the reverse, for me, normally I read that as time to make that decision. You can't avoid it for any longer. You have to just commit to one path or the other. That lands squarely with the kind of energy that I'm reading on today. The sunk cost fallacy, for instance. Why? Is he sticking on this path where anyone who's sane, rational, got half a brain that's functioning would be looking at this mess that's unfolding and think, my goodness, I need to get out of here. That's my opinion, of course. It can be further evasion as well, the reverse card, just really refusing to look at the reality of the situation and to admit that you have to make a very difficult decision. But we're bang on as far as energy goes with that as the underlying energy. So let's look at Harry right now. We're obviously reading from his point of view in this Celtic cross, and let's see where he is in this situation. What's going on with him right now? And we have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. It's the student card, the Page of Pentacles, someone who's learning something, very junior energy. In reverse, maybe a bit stupid, not a bit of a slow learner. Let's put it like that rather. I don't want to shame anybody and their mental capabilities, but in reverse, not really able to learn, not really able to study a situation and see the situation clearly. It is also deals and contracts, and that's interesting that maybe there are deals that bind the two of them together. I very often get that energy that they are stuck together because the brand is still the Harry and Meghan brand, even though he seems to be swiveling more and more towards the military veteran kind of stuff and away from the Hollywood stuff, and she seems to be swiveling more towards the lifestyle stuff, although she's clinging onto this Invictus Games for all she's worth at the moment. So it's telling me they might have deals like the Netflix deal, because it's contracts and negotiations and things like that, the Page of Pentacles, that might be forcing them together. So they have to go and grift in Nigeria because they need to make money for the Invictus Games or for themselves. They have to show up at Polo. She has to show up. Who knows, he might have packed that jam, stuck on the labels, collected the lemons from the garden, and personally delivered them, only to have the lemons thrown back at him because so few people actually posted on their Instagram. But it's deals, it's a bit of a slow learner, but it's also contractual obligations that are negative because the card is in the reverse, that are difficult and challenging. So what is the difficult, challenging energy we've got? Yeah, okay, it showed up. The devil. Burn the place down energy with the devil. It's in reverse. How do you escape the devil? And what is the devil in tarot? Not just necessarily for Harry and Meghan. The devil is obsessive situations, toxic situations, addictions, bad behavior, anger, viciousness, revenge. So his challenge is how to get out of a toxic situation. So these cards are telling me right away that he is very aware. He is not blind to the situation. He can see it. He's trying to avoid having to make a decision. He knows that he's got to commit to one path or the other. And of course, the alternative is crawling back, cap in hand, to the royal family and apologizing, admitting he was wrong. Those doors have slammed closed. There is no way back. So this is the devil. The devil, he knows. He wants to escape it. He's tied by a contract and by obligations. Perhaps some people speculate that the whole relationship was contractual right from the word go. I don't know about that, but there is a contract there that's a drag. And here we have the ball and chain, the devil, very often depicted as people who are literally chained to each other and chained to the devil because of obsession, addiction, whatever that they feed off each other that is very negative and very toxic. So, subconscious reason for still being around in this relationship. And we have the Four of Pentacles. This is the sunk cost fallacy. Hanging on to his status, to his money, his position, his security, to the things that make him comfortable. So she gives him enough reassurance, at least in public. Oh, you're so smart, and that's why I married you, and look at how I adore you, and put my hand on my back and pretend to guide you forward, but actually I'm the one that's stepping in front of the cameras first. All of that stuff is in there. Still a prince, still so important, Mr. Important, going on a royal tour, and HRH is being used there in Nigeria. I've just heard them being introduced at the reception when she's wearing that crumpled white dress. It looks like a bed sheet. And HRH being publicly announced. It's about status, it's about position. He can't let go of this because it's all he's got. That's the subconscious position, the down below energy. What's above in his conscious mind, assuming his conscious mind is actually conscious. Next reading we'll have a look at that. Why? And we have the Magician in reverse. It is for the appearance of things. It's to bamboozle us. My opinion, of course. Let's chuck in an allegedly. Why not? The Magician is the manifester, is the PR spin, particularly when it's in reverse. They're pulling the wool over our eyes about what's really going on in that relationship. All kinds of talk about surfing instructor, blonde girlie in California. There's talk about another blonde girlie as well we might look at. That might be associated with a has-been. So he's definitely playing away according to the rumours. But for the sake of appearances, he's going along with this show and beaming at her, and they're dancing together and look at us and holding hands and all that nonsense. It's PR, it's trickery. The Magician in reverse is the trickster, Mercury energy when it's in its shadow aspect, and we're in the Shadowland Tarot here. So, pretty obvious so far what is going on. Tell us about the past. What might have kept him around in the recent past. We got the Eight of Wands, but it's in reverse. And that is, it's PR and spin in reverse. So it would look bad if he left. Can't do that because of the brand, because the has-been is the prince who found his freedom and surfs in California and is so cool and so woke and left the stuffy royal family. There is that. Minor energy. Major energy of the Eight of Wands in reverse for me is that literally his escape route is blocked. Recent past, of course, I'm not going back whenever they met, nearly, in my opinion, 10 years ago. That is my opinion. Now, it's been a long time, and it certainly shows on both of them. They have aged spectacularly in that time, and not well. Escape route blocked. Eight of Wands in reverse, blocked energy. Can't talk to people, cut off from friends, cut off from family, cut off from old supporters, old advisors, royal advisors, people who could really possibly help him plan a future away from her. But it's all been cut off, it's been blocked. She's been very clever, in my opinion, in isolating him and in burning those bridges and in making it impossible for him to reach out to people and say, help, I need rescuing from this devil energy. So what's coming next Is he going to try and escape, or is he going to stick around because he's got nowhere else to go? What's going to happen? We have the Nine of Swords. It's these are hard cards in this reading. Let me tell you, energy-wise. Nine of Swords is the nightmare card. Sleepless nights, tossing and turning. What have I done? How can I get out of this mess? I am reading this card in the reverse as just getting worse and worse and worse. I don't see in here an escape route. I don't see an ability to think his way out of this mess, because we have this control here in the subconscious position, and we have this avoidance of decision making. Knows he's got to do it. He knows it, but where to go? Where to go? So let's see how he really sees her right now. How does he really see her? He sees her, it's such an unfortunate depiction of the Two of Pentacles. There's the juggling. It's the juggling card. It's about balance. More than that, for me, as a tarot reader, you all know this by now, is that it's my merging card. So he sees her as, she knows how to do the grifting. And he's learning his lesson, but a slow learner. Page of Pentacles in reverse there. He hasn't quite figured it out yet, how to make his millions. He was led out of the royal family by the lure of the big bucks. Obviously very begrudging of the fact that Prince William was destined to get hold of the Duchy of Cornwall. Very lucrative gig if you can get hold of such a thing. Has-been was burning through his inheritance, a lot allegedly going up his nose. We don't know that for sure, but that's the speculation. And along came herself with her contacts in California and all the big, offers and all the rest of it. Two of Pentacles, the merchant card, but also somehow it's this keeps him spinning round. This is the energy that I was talking about at the very beginning of this reading, of she gives with one hand and she takes with the other hand, and she keeps him in the state of and it's probably quite exciting in this. Today, is she going to, family viewing, so I can't get crass, but today is going to be a good day with her. Am I going to be rewarded? She's going to, praise me or be nice to me. Tomorrow, it could be the absolute opposite. She could be an absolute harridan. So she keeps him on tenterhooks, and he never knows where he is. And she really holds all the power in this situation. So what pressure is he under? Plenty of pressure in this reading already. Queen of Swords in the reverse. Absolute Ice Queen. Vicious, cold, ruthless, brutal, cruel. Says nasty things. There she is, the Queen of Swords. I think we know who that is. She's in reverse. She's vicious. And I'm sure she says really devastating things to him, threatens him with devastating things. A lot of people speculate that the devastating things could be to do with the children. And the thing that was in my mind, but I didn't say at the time with this Page of Pentacles, it's a children card. And there could be threats around that. I do see that energy quite often, and the readings I do on them. So I think that this Queen of Swords in reverse, a really cold and ruthless woman, could be threatening him with that kind of thing, because of devil energy. And the devil energy, as I say, might have to do with certain addictive behaviors, which we're going to look at next. So we can connect those dots, or of course speculative, or allegedly, or my opinion, and just tarot. His hopes and fears for continuing in this mess. Well, Three of Wands, he's worried. It's in reverse. He's worried that the situation is going to just get worse and worse and worse. Whatever optimism he had about the situation, whatever hope that he might make nice deals out of it, make some good money, because the Three of Wands is about expansion and optimism and deals coming off. When it's upright in reverse, he's very worried that for all this effort he's put into this situation, for all the humiliation and embarrassment, and just generally looking like an idiot, it's not going to pay off. And so what's he going to do? And this current timeline, I haven't put a time frame on it. Tense situation here, no question about it, but he can see how toxic the situation is, but he's also afraid of leaving it. Nine of Swords, it's a nightmare if he leaves. What's he going to do? Knight of Pentacles, upright. It's the first really positive card in this reading. It's a slow but steady energy. He might at some stage get on his horse and go shuffling away with that card. It is him, Knight of Pentacles, Earth Sign Prince. So it's him in a slightly more focused energy. It's him back in the saddle. As I say, him loping off slowly, or off on a better path. So if you're a fan, if you still have some sympathy for him out there and you're worried about him and what's going to become of him, it looks as if, horrendous as this energy is right now, he might at some stage actually redeem himself and get his life back on track. He's got to get through this Nine of Swords energy. He's got to make this decision. And the fact that this card is in reverse for me as a reader does mean that he knows he's got to make the decision and he can't keep avoiding it. And he might go through this dark night of the soul with the Nine of Swords coming up, where he just at some stage decides that it's just too awful to carry on pretending. And there's lots of pretending with that Magician in reverse. Can't keep pretending and needs to remember who he really is, and who he really is as a prince of the realm. Hard to think that right now, but there it is. That's a reading. So he knows how bad it is for sure, but it's a question of how he's going to get himself out of this mess, in my opinion, of course. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.